Okay, welcome to our weekly adventure of you've had the bars. Now, what's a foundation? Hello, you two beautiful creatures.
Hello.
Awesome.
Well, meet Teresa and Melanie.
Hi,
Hi.
guys. Thanks, Brendan, for this invitation.
Oh, you're welcome. Basically, I would like a lot more people to know about this weird thing called the foundation class. And how it was for you guys. Like what has it been for you both?
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah. Because a lot of I perceive that a lot of people ask me, they're like, okay, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is foundation? Why do you need to talk to me for
That's
three
a
and a half
good
days?
question. That's probably my go-to question. That
And
one.
yeah, and they don't see the point. It's like, why would this even exist? And I usually tell them it's just like I don't know, a tool set, a class full of tools that you can use to create your life. And for me, it's really what it has been. Like, just, with the pot and pock, you can erase and change stuff, limitations and stuff. And then when you've got your canvas, what can you create? And the foundation is that, it's
I
that
think
for
that
me.
I think that's one of the things that people resist the most is that idea of having a blank canvas. I know
Yes.
for me, like I struggled a lot with that. I was like, can somebody else paint it for me? Can you just tell me what to do? Like, give me a job. Tell me who I am. Tell me what I'm here to be. And I was always looking for that. So this idea of like having a blank canvas, which was what foundation really started to create for me, also was terrifying while also being so I was so drawn towards it because I knew that's what I always desired was to know that I could create.
Yeah.
Hmm. And the foundation class has, when we talk about blank canvas or have nothing to, no reference points also, or so, the foundation class has a manual. And that manual is full of tools and is amazing. And I remember that when I, after foundation, because foundation is basically your gateway also to other more advanced classes in access, and not all of them after that have a manual. I remember going to the first ones without a manual. What am I gonna, I have nothing even to touch. I can only touch my name tag, that's it, and I'm clueless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that also is a beautiful space. Like I remember when I started facilitating classes without a manual, and it really taught me that the class was never about anything I had to say. It was always about the question and what it opened up for what other people had you know, to bring up, to contribute, to engage with. I think that's one of the things that always made access so different was it was an invitation to if your life is going to change, listening to somebody else tell you how to do it is probably not necessarily going to be the explosion into something different. Engaging with and going, you know what, I've really struggled with this my whole life, or like, hey, I've had this thing that happened when I was a kid and it's really stuck me and I don't know how to get through it, or I have the point of view about myself that I'm just fucking shit at business and I can't seem to get this money thing going, like even that as a starting point, the willingness to have that vulnerability. I love it when people bring that stuff up and it's like, hey, I get it. And then, like you said, your question, what the fuck is this? What is this? What is that point of view that you have? And I mean, one of my one of the things that I still get schooled in continuously as a tool is your point of view creates your reality, all of it.
It's a biggie.
It is a biggie. Because all
And
those hidden ones, those all those
yeah,
little sneaky little hidden.
yeah. And that's really interesting because often you know where you're stuck. you have this thing, it's my mother's, this is my body problem, this is my money problem. And you're like, I have the awareness of where I am stuck, but I have no idea of how to unstuck me. And this is where the foundation can help you, because the tools, the facilitation, the other participants, they are like bringing all this together for you and to create this space with your question and to change things actually, and to untwist where it's stuck. And this is the only place I've seen that actually, because we usually just talk about our problems but we never change them in all the other modalities I've seen. So this is
Well, I love also that, I remember, I remember it was quite a few years into Access, and I was having a conversation with Dane, and he was just like, you just don't get this whole consciousness thing, do you? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, and I was all defensive about it. But I look back on that and I was like, at that point, you are correct. It was because we do that. Like, you'll have an idea that you're stuck, but you have no idea how to get yourself out of it. And then everything becomes also about getting yourself out of stuck, rather than going, you know what, I'd actually like to create my life, not just fix my problems. And the way that I've found that the only time that I have more of me in my life is just fabulous and wonderful is when I'm choosing to be more conscious.
Wow. Just basking in this space. Thank you. More conscious, yeah. More lighter, having more lightness. And I'm just wondering, because I facilitated a foundation class 2 weeks ago,
Oh, you
and
did?
there was a mixture of people that for them, it was their first foundation class. For other ones, they had, their fifth, sixth foundation class. And as you were saying, Melanie, there's almost like an alchemy of exactly like the people that meet, the place where you're facilitating, the facilitator, the manual, because the manual is changing every year, all that creating like such a unique thing that actually surpasses even like us, our individual selves, but what we were able to create. And it's so hard to put, but you can have the sense that basically we're there for something bigger, for consciousness.
Yeah, I love that too. There for something bigger, and when it goes beyond, I just need to fix this problem, and it is that, because I know for myself, like when I'm choosing my life or my business or my problems or my, it's like it's not big enough. It's not a big enough request to live from, and I think that's what a lot of people in the world are yearning for right now, is to be part of something that actually works.
And it starts with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also something that includes them. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was always like that, feeling like I was always on the sideline, but always creating myself on the sideline, wishing that I was included, but would never include myself. And it's like, and the thing I love about Access, it's not that. It's everyone is included. It's not about how do we create some form of separation to form some right point of view or some definition of. It's just, hey, what do you know? What do you know?
Yeah.
And I love how you said about being conscious, and so many people have already so many definitions of what it is. It's like being superior, being this monk that is away from society and doesn't interact, or we all have these images, and actually it's just being you. It's being
True
you,
story.
be present, and that's it. That's all that is required. So it's so simple, and yet so hard to get when you don't know how to get there. And then just everything falls in place and it's just there. So
Well, I'm glad you said that part, because that for me is the foundation class. Because you hear, like, I could say something like that, like, my life works when I'm being more conscious. Okay, explain that to me. How does that work? Well, if I've got a fixed point of view about something, I can't receive anything that doesn't match it. If I'm judging something, I can't receive anything that doesn't match it. So that's not inclusive of everything. And so for anyone listening who you're like, oh, wow, that energy is there's one of my favorite parts of the foundation manual is the 10 keys, 10 commandments, 10 things that it says in the manual. If you were to study these and use them, live by them, it would handle 99% of what's going on in your life. That's where it's at. It's got in there, live as the question. If you're willing to live as the question, no judgment, no exclusion. And, I love that we have that as an awareness of, but is it easy to choose? Does it take some work to get there? Yeah, but it's like, wouldn't you rather work at growing than, solving problems?
Exactly.
And
that's just one chapter out of the whole manual. Like the manual
I know, I'm
is
looking to see if I had one here, but I don't. So, but I do. I have facilitated so many of those classes that I've kind of got it etched in my head anyway.
Yeah. I was looking at the manual today, and I know that for me, these tools, I get to them, I use them all the time. It's not like beginner's tools and, the thing that you put aside when you've grown up. No, it's just something that you use all the time. It's like in my life now, it's part of me. And also, they are so deep that I could spend a week class on each of them and still have stuff to talk and to explore and to facilitate, because they are so potent. I love this foundation that is, there is so much there, and you can go and use it and keep on exploring. It's just so deep. So yeah.
And it's like during that class there is something dynamic, that can open up, and but it's for you to then use it in your everyday life. So, and it's not like also that you can only have it in a foundation class, like there's new openings and all that. It's actually how to have you as your partner in life, how to have your own back. We talk about like what it is to be intimate with yourself, to be honoring of yourself, and other tools. And the access classes and access tools I find as something truly, as you were saying, like inclusive in a way. Like it's not just when you're at a class, or it's not just with these certain people. It brings you, I would say, back to you, because you are the source. You are the source, and your point of view creates your reality. So what would you like to create? Do you need the foundation class? No, you don't actually need it, right? But are you happy with, the status quo with your life right now? Or have you always known there is something more possible? And I plus, am like a learning hedonist. So I exactly love going deep in all of these tools. So I myself, before even starting facilitating foundation classes, I have had tens and tens of dozens of them that I participated at. Yeah. And there was always something.
Yeah. And I like the thing you said too about it. It's not just about coming to a class. It's the thing that I've always said, and this has been true for me also in doing so many classes over the years, is the class for me begins when the class finishes. It's like, okay, now I'm going out into the world. Now I'm actually navigating my life with this. Now I'm creating with this. Now I'm, I have these tools where, in the past, this would have been something that I would have gone into, judgment of or be triggered by as this, as if I have no control over what I have as a choice. And now I recognize I have choice. Now I recognize that if I chose something different in this moment, I could create something different, not only for myself, but all of us. That's it's such a different place to live from also.
Yeah. At the end of my first foundation, the facilitator told me, now you go to your life and your life is a playground. You don't have any more problems. You just have stuff to play with. And it's what it's been since then. It was each time I would go, oh my God, this is too hard. Oh my God. I was like, okay, stop. I have a tool for that. There has to be a tool for that. What is it? And it's always been like that. Like, oh God, I have choice, actually. I can play with it. I'm not like, having stuff happening to me. Everything has changed. Everything. So
That's
it's
cool.
really this, as you said, like, yeah, it's a choice, and the class starts when the class ends, in a way. So yeah.
I had no, like, it's interesting looking back that, that was the thing that you said there, recognizing that you have choice. Like, I look back before I started Access, choice was just, you don't have choice. You decide, you make a decision and you do based on that decision. But I had no idea what choice was. And it's interesting that alone, if you got that alone, that, wait a minute, I have choice, meaning I have choice how with everything. What can I choose? Life changing.
Yeah, and for me, also from the first foundation, was all these different topics that normally you would, look at them more like negatively, or just like the different point of view, basically, about all of these things. And where then you start questioning, if things really are the way that I've been told all my life. And you start realizing there might be a different possibility,
Yep. Well said.
And I just also love the light bulb moments and people going, and the lightness and the awarenesses bombs, taking off in their worlds, and just like observing people being more themselves and lighter, laughing more.
Yeah,
which is one of the side effects of foundation.
You see those light bulbs go off, and you know that they've changed based on that.
Yeah, and that it's theirs.
Yeah,
I love this. When you get an awareness, like, nobody can take that away from you. You become aware of something, and then again, it's up to you what you choose. But it's like, really, there is this thing of coming, I don't want to say back to you, but it's really about becoming the source of your own reality. And foundation is there to shatter the old reality that's not working. And you go create your own.
Shatter that thing.
And it's never too late, and you've never outgrown it, because I did a foundation with another facilitator a few months ago, and I was like, yeah, but I facilitated, I know what it is. And I was a bit going like with my points of view, and actually it changed my life. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm really stupid. Everything was just amazing. I was like, this class, these tools, it's just amazing. So really, you cannot receive, but if you're willing to, there's always something to receive from foundation class. Yeah.
Beautiful. So we actually have Global Foundation coming up in, I don't know, 2 months, just under 2 months. So if you're watching this also, there's facilitators all around the world. There is many, many, many facilitators in all different languages. Check it out. If you want to, go global with it, you can come to Prague for the Global Foundation, which is facilitated by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here. It's a once-a-year event. It's awesome. I never miss it any year. you can come live to Prague, or you can, jump on anywhere around the world. It's going to be live streamed. So there you go. You can watch it in your underwear from your, hammock, whatever.
Or join a satellite, like a gathering, and do your own little foundation on the other side of the world.
I will be doing a satellite in the south of France. So
oh my goodness, there you go. All right.
And I will see you there live. You will come.
I will maybe be there live, maybe be doing it from El Lugar. So if you want to come to El Lugar, Costa Rica, then you could do that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a date.
So thank you both. You're wonderful gifts. I'm very grateful. And check out these two amazing facilitators also.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.